The Workbook's Daily Task Planner. You can track up to 88 days. Each spread is got 4 days on it. You can do up to 12 tasks per day. So I designed this in a way so that I used this for when I was working at an agency where we had to keep track of our time. So I'd have like just a simple description of the project here, and then checkbox for if I completed it that day. But then I included this little column on the left here so that I can keep track of my time, which we started doing that with my previous agency, and I didn't know how long I spent on the project, so I'd write down the time after I'd get done with it on the left here. So that just creates an easy way to keep track of what you've worked on that day. You've got a little checkbox here, so when you get it complete, you check it, and then I included these little arrows on the right here just in case the project needs to spill over to the next day. So you can mark this in a way that makes sense to you, that it continues on, so then you can write it down. So like this core Vitra signage, that continued on to the next day. So I've got these little spots there. That's kind of how I did that there. Obviously up top we've got the date, and then I've got Sunday through Saturday, so you can mark which day you're currently working on. So this was Thursday. So each spread is pretty much the same. I've got a little notes section in the very first page for just in case you need to write anything down. And then this first spread, I've got the year. So the last time I used this was 2023, but I just included this just so that you can actually mark, which days you've recorded and worked, so a little notes section down below. And then also what I did was, if you needed to record your hours, let's say you worked, these 5 days here, you can write down how many hours you worked, so that, when you fill in your timesheet, you can have a record of, what you actually worked. So kind of did that there just so that's all nice and compact, and, you can go back and see, as opposed to having it flip, page by page to see how many hours each day you worked. The cover is a nice soft touch cover, so it's nice and grippy. It's got a nice little foil on it. I kind of like that, and it's pocket size, so it can fit in your pocket, fit in your backpack or whatever. So it's easy to write on, in pencil, or pen. So yeah, that's the Workbook's Daily Task Planner.